You're listening to the Hour of the Time. I'm William Cooper. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got at least the beginning of somewhat of an education yesterday. And we shall carry on where we left off and attempt to let you know who is doing all of these things to destroy this country. All these years we've been looking around trying to find the enemy. We never could, because the enemy is our mother, our father, our uncle, aunt, brother, sister, grandmother, grandfather, cousins. And so we never looked at home. It couldn't be Americans doing this to America. I mean, why would they do it? Well, it is Americans doing it to America, and you got a little bit of why they're doing it yesterday, and I'll try to impart quite a bit more to you this evening. It's important that you know these things. Make sure that you have pen and paper by your side and that you are prepared to take notes. I'll be right back after this very short pause. That's a fitting introduction to the beginning of today's broadcast. Alice A. Bailey is well known to anyone who has even only a slight knowledge of what's known as the New Age movement. She has been called the New Age Queen. Indeed, she is the key figure of this century in disclosing details of the plan to institute on earth the rule of the so-called Masters of Wisdom. Details of this plan were unveiled to Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, or at least she claims the details were revealed to her. She wrote Isis Unveiled and The Secret Doctrine in the latter part of the last century. Helena Blavatsky, or HPB as she's called for short, for obvious reasons, also founded the Theosophical Society. I remember once calling one of the big names in the euphylogist movement, and I asked him what was really behind all of this stuff, and he told me to study theosophy. Well, at that particular time, I had no idea what he meant, but after years of research, I do now. These books were supposedly transmitted to Blavatsky by mental telepathy from one of the Masters of Wisdom, or one of the Council of Wise Men of the Great White Brotherhood, as she called it. A Dwaj Khul, spelled Khul, or DK for short. This is the same Dwaj Khul masquerading as a master who gave Alice A. Bailey her revelations in this century. And I'm going to tell you quite a bit more about Helena Petrovna Blavatsky and Dwaj Khul as we go along here. Well, maybe not quite a bit more, but at least a little bit more. As the recipient of Dwaj Khul's telepathic transmissions in the first half of this century, Alice Bailey wrote a whole lot of books on a variety of occult topics relating to the unfolding of the plan. A key part of this plan calls for establishing a new world religion, which is to be based on the mystery religions of ancient Babylon, Egypt, Greece, Rome, and other pagan nations of the past. Alice A. Bailey explains for us their origin and significance when she says, and I quote, "These ancient mysteries were originally given to humanity by the hierarchy and were, in their turn, received by the hierarchy from the Great White Lodge on Sirius. They contain the clue to the evolutionary process, hidden in number and words. They veil the secret of man's origin and destiny." That's from Alice A. Bailey, The Rays and the Initiations, New York, Lucis Publishing Company, 1955, page 330. And can also be found in a compilation of selections from her works called Ponder on This, New York, Lucis Publishing Company, 1980, page 15. Now we're going to look at the New Age concepts of the hierarchy. And yes, you read it right, a Masonic lodge on the star Sirius. And when you peruse the references that I give you, you're going to read an awful lot of this stuff. But let's get a better understanding of something that's going to play a major role in the coming New Age world religion, the mysteries, or mystery religions. I've covered it extensively on this broadcast, hours and hours and hours and hours. And I've given you extensive bibliographies, and I'm going to give you more. Mystery religions are defined by the New Columbia Encyclopedia, 4th edition, as, quote, "In Greek and Roman religion, some important secret cults. Although the mystic rites were kept secret, it was known that they required elaborate initiations, including accepting occult knowledge and acting out a sacred drama. Since the mystery deities were associated primarily with fertility, many scholars believe that these cults were based on unrecorded primitive